Mm-hmm. I'm good. All right. Drowning accounts for the number 2 cause of death among kids aged 1 to 4, according to the Center for Disease Control. It's important to know this because it's important to teach kids how to swim from a very young age. I was a swimmer for 8 years before I became a lifeguard, so I thought teaching kids how to swim would be super easy. I mean, I knew the sport like the back of my hand, and all I had to do was apply my skills onto these little kids. I was really, really wrong. Teaching kids how to swim is so hard, but it's really important to do it, so I'm here to make it easier for you and give you some tips and tricks if you have like a little sister or brother or friend. So the number 1 rule that the American Red Cross teaches prospective lifeguards to teach their kids is that safety comes first. So before you even get into the pool with your student, you're going to want to make sure that you go over all the pool rules. And I do this every single lesson so that by the end of our session, they know all the pool rules like the back of their hand. Next, you're going to want to ease into the water. So parents have this grand idea that just like chucking a kid who's screaming and crying into the water is going to make it easier for them somehow. I don't know why, but that's not true. You want them to be cautious of the water, but not scared of the water. So you're going to want to ease into the pool. I like to go where the steps are and just kind of grab them, have them face me, hold them like this, and drag is not a good word, slide them into the water, and just talk about your day and ask them how their day's going, and then eventually they're going to get comfortable enough. Then you're going to work on floating, which is probably the hardest thing to teach, because kids don't trust that if you just let them go, if they're relaxed, that they're going to float. They think they're just going to sink to the bottom. So according to the San Diego State Physics Department, floating comes down to 4 things: body fat, muscle tensity, air in the lungs, and positioning of the body. So you can't really control how much body fat is on your student, and nor should you try to, but you can control how relaxed they are, their position. This position is called the starfish. It's what we learn in Red Cross. Your hands are out like this, and your legs are spread apart, and your head's back, and your stomach is up. And you want them to take deep breaths and just hold them. I like to hold them on the head like this, by the head. It's kind of abrasive, but it works. Yeah. And then you're going to flip them over onto their stomach and do the same thing. Same position, but this time they're going to blow bubbles, and eventually you're going to want them to put their face in the water for their stomach float. Then you're going to work on kicks. So for kickboards, kids like to use them, I don't know, they like to lay on them, and you want them to have their arms straight out like this. That way their body floats easier, actually, than if they were to hold it on their stomach. And you want them to hold their arms straight out so they can put their face in the water and blow bubbles as well. Then you're going to work on the arms. So this is where it gets kind of weird. What we learn to do is we tell our kids to pretend that the entire pool is ice cream, and we're going to scoop the ice cream. So their hands are going to be like this, and you're going to say, okay, let's scoop the ice cream. And I don't know, it works. It's kind of weird, and the parents look at you funny, but it works. And then after you work on your arm motions, you're going to put it all together. So this 99-cent rubber duck is going to be your savior. You're going to tell the kid, hey, you're going to be the lifeguard now, and you're just going to throw the duck across the pool, and you're going to hold them by the stomach, and they're going to put all the skills that they learned together. So they're going to put their face in the water, they're going to kick and do the arms, and then the parents are really happy, and the kid's happy, and everything works out. All right, so it's important to know that 80% of drownings occur in residential pools and spas, which means that 80% of drownings could be prevented. Teaching is hard. I've had my hair pulled. I've gotten punched in the face. One of my students even called me Satan. But it's really important because it's a life skill. Everybody needs to know how to swim. So to top it all off, if you or anybody you know doesn't know how to swim, please call me and we can work something out because everybody should know how to swim. All right? All right.
Okay. Sydney, thank you so much for for waiting a week to do your speech.
No problem.
I know sometimes that can be very off-putting for students, so I apologize for not having time last.
It's all good.
So tell me, what based on what, obviously you're an expert in the area.
Mhm.
In your research, did you find something that you didn't expect to find, or didn't know?
I didn't know that drowning was the number 2 cause of death among kids aged 1 to 4, and that was from the Center for Disease Control, so I'd imagine it's pretty accurate. And then same with the 80. I just didn't know all the statistics, but like all the rest was kind of like we learn it in all of our classes.
All right.